And we are recording. Welcome everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar. Currently Aldred the Wasteland Explorer. And I am joined by Yukiro Fate, the VTuber, role-playing as another version of herself in the science fantasy campaign of Machine Gods of the Noxian Expanse. But before we go further, this channel is proudly sponsored by the following publishers, starting with Shades of Vengeance and their Era Marscape Kickstarter. This is pretty much Doom, the tabletop RPG. You play as enhanced soldiers, taking on unknown demonic threats. It uses the Era D10 dice pool system, which is quite cinematic. Then we have Dead Tree Studios, publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have also released the pay-what-you-want tabletop RPG Daughters of Lamb, where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. Next we have the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products, and check out their sword and sorcery game, Savage Swords. It has received a complete makeover. All of the AI assets have been replaced with handcrafted illustrations, layout, everything. All of the links to these amazing publishers will be in the description and in the pinned comment as well. So yes, this time we are continuing the science fantasy campaign of the Machine Gods of the Noxian Expanse. If you haven't seen the other parts of this campaign, you will find a link in the description of this video. This campaign also works a bit like a tutorial because we are very clear about the process of generating the hazards, rooms, everything. Now, Yukiro, before we begin, do you have some thoughts on the situation?
Thoughts are smack, sword, head. No, I'm having fun. So, yeah, I'm having fun.
For those of you that do not know, Yukiro is a bit like a science fantasy barbarian woman. And in my case, I'm playing as a guy that is not very healthy, but he is, at the very least, he has this ancient relic that is pretty much some sort of electronic device that he uses to attack.
And he goes pew pew.
We are currently descending a pyramid that we got teleported into, so we don't know what exactly is going to happen. And so it begins. Rolling to determine the room as Aldred and Yukiro descend. On page 70, determining the area layout. Rolling a d10. A corridor. Rolling to determine the length of the corridor. A d8. The corridor is 60 feet from west to east. It is 10 feet wide from north to south. Rolling to determine the contents. D6 on page 72. Empty. Rolling to determine the details of the room. D100. Beckon. Torture. The corridor displays various instruments of torture, iron maidens, racks, and other receptacles. They are of great elegance, even clean when compared to the rest of the architecture. There are even dry rose petals leading into the torture devices. Rolling to determine if there is an encounter in the corridor. On page 70, rolling a d10. A result of 1, 2, or 3. There is a hostile encounter. And there is none. At the end of the corridor, there is a single open doorway. As Aldred I speak, more torture devices.
As Yukiro, I look around, nodding, and say, turn to Aldred and say, they sure have a lot of these things. They must have tortured thousands here.
As Aldred I speak, I wonder if these are functional, because remember the other ones, they didn't have spikes and similar implements. You only have the basic structure of the torture device. As Aldred I approach, moving my lantern closer to examine the torture devices. Rolling an intelligence check. Hard difficulty. 16. Checking the table of hard difficulty. Rolling to determine if the torture devices are properly armed or equipped to be used. And they have, Aldred discovers that the torture devices have also been, the spikes, the blades, the ropes have been removed from all of them. Rolling on the scavenging table, page 86, as a piece of loot was found. D20. Relic. Rolling to determine the found relic. Page 88. A D20. Other relic. Rolling to determine the exact shape of the relic. Rolling a d6. 1 or 2. Necklace. 3 or 4 ring. 5 or 6 bracelet. A ring is spotted on top of one of the racks. Rolling on the spell list to determine the property of the ring. D20 on page 34. As Aldred, I look to Yukiro and explain excitedly. I know, I have seen such rings before. They are incredible marvels from the old times. This shield, this ring has a shield engraved on it. It can surely produce some sort of magical force field around the user.
As Yukiro, I step forward and have a look at it and turn to Eldred and say, you better put this on. With how much you get like beat up and hit even though you're not supposed to, because you're supposed to leave that to me, Aldred. You better take that just in case.
Let me get... that's a good idea. But I need to familiarize myself with the effects of this shield that is produced from the ring. I know the general working, but I'm still... I've never used one myself. I've only seen it once used by an explorer during one of our ruins expeditions. As Aldred, I pick up the ring and put it on, writing the effects of the relic. Very interesting. Yes. I see. You can see in the engravings. It is not that difficult to activate. But the effect is also not that spectacular. It basically produces a barrier of force. It will definitely grant me greater protection in moments of need, but I don't want to abuse it. After all, this is not infinite power.
Sounds like a plan, Aldred. Whatever helps, though, right?
I was considering perhaps on you using it, but you're already very well armored.
Yeah, nothing's getting past me. As Yukiro, I sort of slam my heart, fist on my chest.
But now I must verify if what sort of core empowers this. After all, we need to be mindful of how many times I can use this. As Aldred, I take the ring and start spinning it around until a miniature core is spotted in the opposite side of the engraving of the shield. It seems to be a standard core, but now I need to determine exactly how many charges this core has. I don't want to run out of charge while we are fighting some horrible thing. Rolling to determine the core. Oh, it's not very good. It's a normal resonance core. I'll probably get a couple of uses, if I am lucky, perhaps 3 or 4, before the charge runs out, but you never know. Wait a minute, I think I hear something. It could be my imagination. But rolling to determine if there is the sound was a mistake. No, it must have been a crack of the structure. So Yukiro, do you mind taking the lead?
Of course, Aldred. I keep my hand on my sword just in case I need to wield it, and I continue down the hallway.
Rolling to determine the next section. On page 71, Yukiro must roll a d10 on page 71.
Three.
Corridor. Roll a d8 to determine the length of the corridor.
Four.
The corridor is 40 feet from west to east, 10 feet wide from north to south. Roll a d20. Odds the door at the end is closed. Evens it's open.
Evens.
And another open doorway is seen at the end of the corridor. On page 73, roll a d100 to determine the room detail. The verb first.
87.
Provide. On the next page, page 74, roll a d100 again.
43.
Provide mimicry. Come up with an interpretation of the corridor, the general details, architecture. Provide
Yukiro,
mimicry.
I walk down the newly opened hallway, and I see old.
Suddenly Aldred interrupts. Yukiro, why are you monologuing? What is it there? Aldred looks to also see what Yukiro is seeing. To see what Yukiro is seeing in third person.
I turn back and I yell to Aldred, there's more of these paintings, and they show what I'm assuming is how they created all the torture devices.
What is this obsession with torture? Why do they have like a miniature torture reproduction sort of tabletop thing? And then there are torture devices, and we found more torture devices in this level, and they all have the implements to actually cause pain removed.
I don't know. All of this is weird. Why remove the things that they need to torture people? If they're going to have torture things and torture people, they should have It makes no sense, Aldred. It makes no sense.
Our previous assumption was that the torture devices were used to contain perhaps the demon. That's basically what we have been figuring out so far. But why so many other torture devices? Could it be that it was not a single demon, but several? And
I
each one
think that's true.
And whoever wanted those demons there didn't want to torture them because, well, that's still debatable because we first thought that perhaps the demon removed the spikes and the blades when it made its escape, as we understand it at least. But now could it be that those implements of torture, well, rather the sharp pointy ends, were removed before encasing the entities within them?
I mean, potentially. It all makes no sense.
On page... No. Roll a D10. 1, 2, or 3. There is a hostile encounter.
6.
There is no hostile encounter. On page 77, roll a d20 to determine the ruin event in this corridor.
11.
Out of nowhere, perfectly preserved food manifests on the floor of the corridor. Yukiro, more food!
As Yukiro, I step through and look about. Did this appear as we came, or was this left here?
I didn't see it as we entered. I think it was either hidden or it was materialized in some way. But it reminds me of the other structure, the skyscraper where we found the food on the table.
Yeah. Do you think this lot is safe to eat?
I'm not sure. You did eat the other one and you were safe, but who is to say that this is not poisoned? But here's a thought. What if the so-called or apparent thief that we have been seeing on the frescoes, that perhaps he either inhabited this ruin or even owns it, does he have some sort of a magical effect that produces food? Maybe that's how he obtains sustenance to live in these structures.
That's probably it. Maybe he goes from structure to structure, and he's already set up these magical doohickeys to provide food whenever someone enters the room. Presumably him or her.
Aha, so it was an accident. Most likely we entered this corridor and the room identified us as the master or the inhabitant, and it produced the food for us.
Well, let's let's double check it's not poisoned first. But I think we should take some of these preservable foods as rations.
Oh, how could perhaps we could eat a little bit of it?
Well, Aldred, you better not.
My constitution is a
With
bit
your
frail, that is true.
yeah, with your constitution, I suppose I'd better. I'm more likely to survive being poisoned. As Yukiro, I take a piece of the nearest food and I take a small bite.
Roll any die. Odds, there is no negative effect. Evens, there is a negative effect.
18.
There is a strange change occurring in Yukiro's body. Roll a constitution check.
Oh, +2, awesome.
D20 plus constitution modifier.
18.
Roll a d6 to determine the difficulty.
1.
Very easy difficulty 5. Yukiro is certain that this food is actually poisoned, but her constitution saves her from further harm. Just a terrible taste left in her mouth.
As Yukiro, I go blah blah blah. Yeah, you don't want to eat this, Aldred. Terrible, terrible.
And why do you think this one is poisoned? The other one was fine. Why is this one bad?
Maybe this one's more magical. I don't know, Aldred. Maybe the thief planned for interlopers here. Or maybe he wanted the demon to lose. Maybe it's for the demon.
Like a bait, like a poison bait.
Yeah. I mean, if I was going to trap a demon, I'd do it that way.
That would make sense.
Okay, well, let's not take any of this for rations.
No, let us not. Or we could take it, if we want to poison something, perhaps use it to
yes.
If we see a beast or something. I'll pick it up. As
Okay.
Aldred, I approach the poisoned food and put it in my backpack. Alright, there we go.
Just make sure you don't mix it up with your actual rations, Aldred.
Yes, I'm going to write poisoned food. Just in case. As Aldred, I place a piece of paper wrapped around the poisoned food. I think it's a good idea for you to keep going ahead, Yukiro. I'll stay right behind you with my medallion in case of need.
Yukiro doesn't even wait for us, Aldred to speak. Already walking on ahead.
Aldred speaks. For a moment, it seemed like you were going into some weird third-person thing. But I will follow you. On page 71. Roll to determine the area layout. D10.
8.
A room has been revealed. Rolling to determine if the structure is becoming smaller. No. Aldred speaks as he approaches Yukiro, as she reveals the next area. I think the pyramid might be larger than we actually expected, or there could be like a time displace or space displacement, perhaps mechanism, because this floor is too big compared to the one that we explored. As Aldred comments this, he looks at at the position where Yukiro is set. Roll to determine the room size. 2 6-sided die. Announce the results separately.
3 and 5.
The room is 30 feet wide from north to south, and 50 feet deep from west to east. Roll to determine the number of exits, a d4. Roll a d4.
2.
Roll a d6 to determine the position of the exit.
6 and 5.
A single d6. There is a single doorway on the south wall. Roll a d20, any die. If it's odds, it's locked. Evens, it is unlocked.
9.
The door in the south is locked, of the same stone material from the rest of the pyramid. Roll to determine the room contents, a d6 on page 72, a d6.
4.
The room is impassable due to the rubble within it. Roll to determine the room details on page 73. Verb. A d100.
92.
Scavenge. Roll a d100 on the next page.
And 27.
Scavenge desire. Come up with an interpretation concerning the room, the rubble, the obstacles blocking.
As Yukiro, I point to where the rubble is and turn to Aldrin and say, "There's something really shiny in the rubble, but I don't know if we can get to it. I really want to, though."
I wish we had better tools to perhaps move the rubble, but there seems to be a doorway. As already mentioned this as I look in the direction where Yukiro is pointing, and I didn't see any other doors in the corridors we moved through. This means we should either backtrack and look for perhaps secret panels, or we could try to make our way through the rubble. Yukiro must roll a d10 to determine if there are hostile encounters. D10.
3.
Hostile encounter. Roll to determine the hostile encounter on page 76. A d20.
Oh, 1. The demon touched.
Demon touched. Moving to the demon touched section on page 96. Page 96. Describe how the demon touch appears, the demon touched entity appears.
As Yukiro and Aldred discussing whether to try and get through the rubble or backtrack, a ghostly shape forms behind them, making an almost human but demonic shape.
Aldred yells, "Watch out! It seems to be partially converted from some sort of living metal. It's metal, but it moves like organic matter. It's rushing at us. Where did it come from?" Roll initiative. D20 plus your initiative value.
Nope. Okay, well, 6.
Also 6. Aldred and Yukiro gasp.
Oh dear.
Aldred takes a few steps back due to his cowardly nature and speaks. Yukiro, I think you should handle that. Checking to see the initiative of the demon touched. 8. Roll on the Discord machine general chat channel. Roll a d10 to determine the enemy action. D10.
7.
Special attack. Checking the special attack. Demonic bite. The demon touched throws itself at Yukiro, its gaping maw with metal teeth, aiming towards her neck. Roll, adding a d20, adding your defense rating.
Okay, that's 5. 21.
But describe the way the attack was avoided.
As Yukiro hears Aldred yell about the demonic being, I draw my sword and use it as a way to parry and deflect and push it back.
And so it is accomplished. Yukiro can now take action.
Not today! Of all days, I raise my sword and I strike at it fast.
Roll a d20 plus your strength modifier.
18.
The sword barely sinks into the body. Roll damage.
There it is. 4.
As Aldred, I yell, I'll follow up. I'll use my medallion. Lifting the medallion in front of me, activating it, pressing the miniature panel on the side, pronouncing ancient words. Waves of orange and purple strike the demon-touched entity. Rolling to determine success. The waves begin to disrupt the demon-touched creature. Rolling damage. One. The waves only produce small cracks on the surface of the entity. Blasted! No! Ah! The demon touch now takes action. On the machine general chat, roll a d10 to determine the action.
7.
The result is special attack. Without even hesitating, as soon as it rids itself from the vibrations produced by Aldred's device, the monster takes quick steps towards Yukiro and once again attempts to bite her with its horrifying metal maw.
As Yukiro, I hold my sword out so that it bites the sword instead of me. I am so done with you things trying to bite me all the time.
Roll with advantage. 2 20-sided die. Take the best result, the highest. Add your defense rating.
24.
Roll a 20-sided die. If it's odds, the sword is damaged. If it's evens, it is not.
Oh, thank God. 8.
And so the demon is repelled. And Yukiro can take action once more.
I take a step back and then charge forward, hoping to pierce it in the center.
Verifying the charge combat maneuver. On page charge is roll. Add your strength modifier +2. Your strength modifier +2. D20 plus strength
14.
Checking the defense of the demon touched. Hard. The blade bounces off the metal claws that the demon touched entity uses to parry the attack. As Aldred, I once more pull out the medallion and chanting the words and pressing the miniature panel, produce the waves of orange and purple once again impact the entity. As Aldred, I say, come on, break apart. 7 points of damage. But the entity still stands, although it is quite obvious that it is about to break completely. Roll to determine the attack of the creature on the Discord the Machine General chat. Add plus, to determine the action. D10.
8.
Special. The creature doesn't miss a single bit as it moves to the side, still affected by the waves of Aldred's device, and this time throws itself at Aldred. No, not me! Attack the big barbarian woman, not me! As Aldred, I say as I stumble backwards, fumbling for my walking stick, attempting to parry the attack. Rolling with disadvantage. The bite connects the metal fangs sink deep into Aldred's shoulder. Ah! Rolling a constitution check to avoid becoming poisoned. Oh, I don't feel so good. Yukiro can see how Aldred's skin is infected with some strange green color. Ah! The creature is still on him. Yukiro can now take action.
I don't think you should be doing that, I yell at the beast, and then slash it from behind.
Roll 2 20-sided die with advantage. Choose the best result.
18.
Roll damage as the blade sinks deep into the creature.
Ouch. Is it 12? Is it? Where are you? There it is. 4 points of damage.
The creature is split, divided under the weight of the blade. Rolling to determine the damage due to the poison bite. 5 points of damage in total. Ah, it burns so horribly. Ah. As Aldred, I take hold of the shoulder and begin to suck desperately on the wound and spitting out to see if that will purge the poison. Rolling Constitution. But the attempt was not successful, as the poison still burns. 3 extra points of damage. But then the effect is no more.
Oh, okay.
It looks like the burning stopped, but I'm not in good physical health. I'm usually not very healthy, but now I'm even closer to the other side.
Now, Aldred, what if I told you about getting in the way? As Yukiro, I dig through my backpack and pull out a medical kit. It's a good thing we came prepared.
Yes. Don't worry. Save your medical kit. After all, we're going to be in the front line. I'll use it on myself.
Okay.
As Aldred, I pull out my medical supplies and begin tending to the wound. Yukiro notices something just near the rubble where the entity manifested. Roll to determine the found loot on page 80. No. Roll a d20. Roll a d20. Page 86. 86. Determine.
Oh.
Go through the random weapon. Locate the random weapon table. While I tend, as Aldred tends, Aldred realizes that he needs quite a bit of time to make the proper healing procedure. Oh, I can't believe this thing took a bite so easily. It's as if my skin was almost butter. Just a bit more and it would have been the end of me. But I'm still trying to figure out these medical supplies. I'm not exactly a doctor. I wonder how much they will heal me.
Say 3. An improvised weapon.
Roll on the... Did you find something, Yukiro?
As Yukiro, I pull out what... a broken leg of a table and start swinging it around like a club. Yeah, I think my sword's better, but in a pinch this might come in handy.
Aha, and you never know, perhaps we could use it to disable some sort of hazard trap.
Yeah.
I'm a bit underwhelmed because of the medical supplies. I thought that they would heal me better. But it is clear that we either have to find some way through the rubble, or look for secret doors in the other corridors.
What's the chances, Aldred, that we have to find another teleporter out?
I'm not sure. These ruins are completely alien to me. I could barely make sense of the ring that we found.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, Aldred, because we've been looking for a door. When...
Oh, what a fool! What a fool! Why didn't I use my ring? Oh, no!
Oh, Aldred. It's okay. I forgive you.
Next time I'll be more ready, better prepared.
To be fair, Eldred, I think that's the first time we've come across whatever that was.
That is correct.
As Yukiro, I pat Eldred on the head. It's okay.
Now, I'm considering that we could, if we decide to go into the area with the rubble, I think that's a viable solution, but we would risk suffering some damage as we move through all of that garbage, all of those blocks of stone and pieces of metal and broken glass.
There's also the chance that we mess up and it comes down on our heads and trap us forever.
I think it would be wiser to look for secret panels or doors in the other corridors.
Agreed.
As Aldred, I dust off my ropes and bandages and go back into the same corridor before the room with the rubble and begin a careful examination on the north wall. Rolling intelligence D20 5. As Aldred, I speak. There is nothing in the north wall. You might as well help me check, because I'm not the smartest. Sometimes I'm very keen or wise in some situations, but definitely not the most perceptive.
No problem, Eldred. As Yukiro, I just trail my hand along, just haphazardly, seeing if there's anything to polish.
Roll a d20 plus intelligence, if any modifier.
Okay, sure, I got 0 there. Yeah, 5.
Yukiro spots nothing on the north. As Aldred, I begin tapping the south wall. Come on, there has to be something, come on. Nothing is found by Aldred. 11. Yukiro, why don't you try your luck in the south wall?
Well, this is our last wall to check, I guess. As
on this
Yukiro,
corridor.
I continue to try and press the rocks in the wall.
D20.
6.
It doesn't look like you are very lucky. Let's move to the other corridor. As Aldred, I proceed to the corridor further to the east that was already explored and begin patting the wall on the north. Also pulling out my metal stick, poking desperately. Come on, there has to be something. 5. Yukiro, continue helping me, please.
As Yukiro, I check another wall.
Roll a d20 plus intelligence.
11.
We didn't find anything yet. As Aldred, I begin tapping and kicking the wall on the south. Blasted! There can't be a single door in this level, come on. 12. I can't find it.
Well, I hope we're not stuck here forever, Aldred, because otherwise I'm blaming... I don't know who I'm blaming, but I'm blaming someone, and it might be you. As Yukiro, I start slamming my hand against the wall. 15.
For a moment, Yukiro was certain that there was something, but it was just a loose piece of rock, and there was nothing.
God damn it! I kick the rock.
So we have to move through the rubble. There is no other way. Oh well, I was thinking we could go back to the previous floor and search for hidden passageways there, but I'm certain it would be even harder. We did explore the place quite thoroughly. Perhaps not actively looking for panels, but it will definitely be a very hard search.
You're right, Aldred. I don't know what to do, though. As Yukiro, I sit down and put my finger and thumb on my chin and just look like I'm thinking.
Something that could perhaps work. What if we focus on pulling out all of the rubble, all of the debris from that room, but it will probably need an entire day of work.
Hey, Aldred. As
Yes.
Yukiro, I tend to look at him. Do you think your little magic thingy-majiggy doohickey thing could blast its way through that rubble?
We could try. We could try. I've never used it. I generally don't use it on architecture, only on things that want to eat me. But we could try. As Alred, I hurry towards the area with the rubble, pull out the medallion, and begin chanting the words and pressing the miniature panel. Rolling to determine if the medallion is exhausted of charges as it is being used. Oh no, I can tell it's running out of power. Rolling to determine the success. And the waves fizzle, are not able of affecting the stone, and the medallion is out of charge. No, so I'm out of charge and I wasn't able to do any damage. Whatever material this is not affected by the energies of my relic.
Oh dear, Aldred. I don't think we even have anything that could help us dig, Aldred.
I was
Here
thinking,
I start digging through my backpack.
Yes. Perhaps we could do an assisted endeavor to perhaps worm ourselves through some of the narrow areas, at least those that are large enough for our bodies. And I still have my shield ring. What if you use whatever tool that you think is useful for this, while I activate the ring of the shield to protect us from the any sort of debris that could fall on top of us?
I mean, I could certainly try, Aldred. I look at between my sword and the broken table leg and go, I think the sword is sharper, but I don't want to risk breaking it. For now, I guess I'll use the table leg thing. I take the table leg and start hitting at the end, like the blockage.
Do you have a crowbar, Yukiro? Aldred speaks as Yukiro begins working.
Yukiro pauses and turns to look at Aldred. Crowbar? No, I have everything but a crowbar.
Aldred pulls a crowbar out of his backpack. Here, also use this. This could come in handy.
Thanks, Aldred. I take the crowbar, and as Yukiro, I start using the crowbar and the table leg to chip away with both hands.
As Yukiro proceeds, as Aldred, I pull out point the hand with the ring just above our heads, using the force field to keep us safe. Rolling to determine if the charge is expended. The charge continues, rolling to determine this success. And the shield is employed perfectly, with great precision. Now Yukiro and Aldred must both roll the relevant attribute, whatever attribute it is considered applies to the situation. Roll 2 20-sided die, take the best result.
$15 for me.
6. As Aldred continues to use the ring with the shield, a piece of rubble falls near his collarbone. 1 point of damage. Ouch, that hurts. Well, we can probably keep going. Roll a single 20-sided die. If it's
Ooh,
odds, it's a
no,
success. Events, it is
nat,
not.
nat 20.
But it is events, so there is
Yeah,
still.
evens.
Albert speaks. We must push forward, but we still need to keep at it. Yukiro, before we keep doing it, don't you have any other tool that could perhaps make it even easier for us? I know, I know. Why don't you lend me your sword? Although it is heavy, perhaps I could use it alongside with my shield to protect us both. It's pretty much a big slab anyway.
As Yukiro, I chuckle and say, well, maybe for you. Are you sure you can handle this? It's very heavy.
I'll
I
place it
hold
near
up
my
the
back.
sword.
I just needed to place it like a sort of metal slab on my back. It'll keep me safe.
As Yukiro, I let Aldred take the sword.
As Aldred placed the sword on my back while using the shield, Aldred, as almost resembling a turtle, as I protect myself with the sword and the ring. Yukiro must roll 2 20-sided die. Best result with advantage.
19.
8. Another piece of rubble falls on Aldred's part of the back that is unprotected. Ow! I thought I had my shield. The shield and the sword. How could they miss protecting me from that? 2 points of damage are suffered. Yukiro must roll a d6. If anything but a 6 is a success, no 6.
Oh, 1.
And so Yukiro and Aldred finally make it to the doorway. Oh, that was such an ordeal. I kept getting hit by the things around us.
As Yukiro, I look at my body. I go, I'm fine.
Do you mind giving me those medical supplies? I think I need them.
No problem. I pull out one of my medikits and toss it to Aldred.
As Aldred, I begin moving using the medical supplies and realize, no, I still have, I don't need it. I hand back the medical supplies. I still have one back. I'll use it.
Okay.
Rolling to determine the
Yukiro,
success.
I take the sword back off of Aldred, just in case. We don't know if any more of those things are going to appear. And you don't want me without my sword, Aldred.
Yes. Here's the sword. Oh, there it is. Rolling intelligence check. Oh no. I messed it up. I spent the medical supplies, but I don't think that I used them properly. Let's continue. Roll to determine the next room. On page 71, roll a d10.
Oh.
Corridor. Roll to determine the length of the corridor. A d8 to find the length.
5.
50 feet south. The corridor is 10 feet wide from west to east. 50 feet deep from north to south. Roll to determine the details of the corridor on page 73 at d100.
45.
Disturb. Next page, another D100 on page 74.
And 57.
Disturb tragedy. Disturb tragedy. Come up with an interpretation, but also roll a D4 to determine the exits.
4.
The corridor has doorways on every wall, south, west, and east. Come up with an interpretation for the details of the room. Disturbed tragedy.
As Yukiro and Aldred look down the corridor, they notice rubble here and there, not blocking anything. There's lots of old corpses and skeletons lingering about.
Roll to determine if there is a hostile encounter. The roll is a D10.
10.
There is silence. Roll on page 77, ruin event. A D20 on page 77.
9.
Describe the prompt added to the details that you gave.
As Yukiro and Aldred look among the dead, the walls give kind of shimmer and reveal distorted space between the walls.
As already I speak, this reminds me a little of that other section in the skyscraper. It is undoubtedly that these ruins are connected.
I agree. I don't like what I'm seeing here, Aldred. Whatever this demon is, it's dangerous.
Yes, dangerous, but it also means that perhaps the victims of the demons could have dropped something. Hopefully. As Aldred, I begin pacing around, searching using the lantern to further illuminate the corpses and even prodding some of them with my walking stick. Rolling search intelligence check to see if something is found. I can't find anything. How about you help me search to see if we can find something, Yukiro?
As Yukiro, I walk around doing the same thing, but with my sword instead.
Roll a d20, add intelligence if you have any modifier.
16.
Checking the difficulty on it's a hard difficulty. Yukiro has spotted something of interest. On the scavenging table, page 86. Roll a d20.
7.
Random armor has been found. On page 88, roll a d10. Random armor.
3.
Chain shirt. Yukiro finds a chain shirt. Do you have any luck, Yukiro? Did you find something interesting?
As Yukiro, I motion to the dead body wearing a chain shirt and turn to Aldred and say, yeah, but I don't think it's going to help you at all. Although, maybe. I'm fairly sure what I'm wearing is probably better, though.
Well, in my case, I'm using padded leather armor, so it's certainly much better in terms of raw protection.
Can you wear it though, Aldred? I know you're not as strong.
Well, it's chain. It should be light enough. I think I could use it. Aldred approaches where Yukiro is at that, and puts on the chain shirt. Yes, it's not as comfortable as leather, But I guess it's about survival.
In this place, I agree, Eldred. Better than nothing.
And this is the end of the session. Well, now you found two items. Although I think the improvised weapon wasn't very like a great finding, right?
Oh, I don't know. Yuki was definitely having fun with it. I might knock a few people out, maybe.
And it's a good like to have the improvised weapon because after all, there was that risk when the demon touch thing attacked us. There was this risk of breaking your sword.
Yeah. That would have been very unfortunate.
And it's this game is pretty strict in that you have to be specialized in that particular weapon, right? So if you were to use something else that is not the improvised weapon, you would do it with a disadvantage all the time.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the session?
That was fun. Like we actually managed to fight something for change. And although we're not learning anything too new, we did find some information, so we're doing well. And we finally got out of that weird place into another weird place.
We also managed to reveal the 3 exits because we were getting a bit into a dead end because we couldn't find the secret passages and the thing was the entire room was blocked. But now we have 3 possibilities of how to further explore the ruins, the pyramid. And I think the chain shirt, because I wanted Alred to be more on the leather side because he's not very strong. He's going to be very agile, jumping, climbing. But right now there isn't much of that. So I think it's wiser for me to equip the chain shirt. And considering that I've taken so many wounds, not only from the enemy, but also from the pieces of rubble and things falling on me.
Yeah. We had some unlucky rolls this time.
And they kept rolling 8, 5, 8.
Yeah. 5. The amount of times we rolled a 6 or something. I was like, oh great, he's passed his curse on to me.
And you did manage to roll a natural 20, but it was on the other roll.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what a waste.
There goes the reserve of natural 20s for the day. Damn it.
Yeah.
And I also think that the combat was handled a bit more smooth, faster than others. I think we immediately got rid to the stats of the enemies. By the way, when I said the demon touched the creature, did you see the description of the thing, or did you come up with the shape and all that?
I just came up with one.
Okay. In the entries of the monsters, and that was good because we could work with that, right? It looked a bit like the T1000, like a ghostly T1000 that suddenly took physical shape. But under the entries of each of the monsters, as you can see, there's like a little description.
Okay.
Like Demon Touches on page 96, it says, humans partially converted into living metal, desperately seeking to complete their transformation. Yeah, so it's there to give you like a bit of inspiration for the descriptions.
Okay. It was a good thing I went with something very generic then.
And you're getting better and better with your descriptions. In this case, I didn't spot a time where you said like kind of certain. No, you were more direct in the description of the rooms.
Yeah, it just takes a bit of practice. I did mess up some at one point, and I was like, blah.
The only thing that could have been improved was that moment when you were monologuing that as Yukiro, I can see this and that, and then they're like, no, third person, like.
Yeah.
But everything else was really good.
Like,
Well, that was very fun, and I would say this floor was definitely more challenging than the other because we couldn't even explore it fully.
Yeah, we did like struggle to get good rolls there, but we managed eventually.
And at least we didn't trigger any security systems because we usually trigger those like traps and alarms and
yeah, the amount of traps we sometimes all the time managed to trigger.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts before we wrap up the session?
No, I don't think so. Hopefully, we
Okay.
just get through this area and find something new. Hopefully, a set of links, but that's what we're looking for: is people, not more ruins.
We haven't found a single person that we can talk to. Not a single one.
Yeah, not a single person. It's like we're the last two alive.
Even in the wilderness, like you would have expected to find people traveling as well, but no.
Nope. Nah, nothing, nada. Zip zada.
Well, thank you everyone for watching this part of the campaign. We usually play it every Tuesday, although Yukiro is going to have her schedule a bit out of place. She needs to figure out her schedule. So maybe we'll continue next Tuesday. If not, I'll keep you posted. So thank you for watching this part of the campaign. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. You will also find a link to Yukiro's channel in the description. She streams video games, literature, sometimes variety, so definitely check it out. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jack, you are a professional game master, and remember, in tabletop role-playing games, you're not telling stories about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you, and I'm stopping the recording in 10 seconds.
Bye, guys.